energetic.
You know why we came here today? We came here today because they need to know that Ron Paul supporters are not just on the internet. There's people who's been supporting him for 20 years. They voted for him in '88. That's the year I was born.
Small percentages.
Yeah.
So you think you guys have an effect on the interaction here with Governor Huckabee? Were you the one who yelled, "Jesus, who would Jesus kill? Jesus wasn't for the death penalty"?
I said Jesus would not support the death penalty.
Yeah.
I did.
Jesus wouldn't support the war either.
Jesus would not support the war.
Do you think Governor Huckabee needs to go back and read the book of Matthew again?
I think he needs to stop wearing his religion on his sleeve and start just enacting it in policies, real Christian values.
Yeah.
Protecting people's personal rights. I think that's a Christian value.
Yeah.
It's also an American value. I think that supersedes it. But, yeah.
Honesty?
Where's he not been honest? How has he not been honest?
I don't know, but I know Ron Paul's honest about everything.
Wait. You said you wouldn't trust him as far as you could throw him.
I know. I feel like
I don't know about his. Hold on, let her talk.
Okay. I feel like he says things and people hear something else.
So he talks in code.
Yeah, kind of. It's all about the way he says it. But really, you have to listen to his words.
If the dollar collapses and all of our debt is dumped, we're gonna go the way of the Soviet Union. We're gonna go into a serious collapse, and that is way more dangerous than any Islamic fascist threat to this country.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let's keep on that thing. If the United States decided to default on all the Chinese debt, like we could basically declare bankruptcy like we do with our credit cards, or before the bankruptcy bill, and write it off.
Sure.
Would that not be a bad thing? I mean, would that not be a good thing? How would the Chinese go and collect their debts? You just made a relevant point about inflation and debt.
What happens is all of that money becomes worth next to nothing. We're paying $1,000 for a loaf of bread, and we can't buy anything on the world market. We have no manufacturing base here in the United States anymore. We moved it all overseas. Not all of it, but a lot of it. We moved it overseas. We don't even know how to make stuff here anymore. And if we can't get the energy, we are not energy independent. If we can't get the energy from around the world to even make stuff and exist, we are in dire straits. And
we'll all go back to pot, kettle, stove.
And maybe that won't be such a bad thing, but you know what? We'll have a lot of nuclear weapons and we'll be very desperate, and that's not good. That's not a good place to be.
You think either side? Do you think actually think a Democratic leader would use nuclear weapons in that kind of scenario?
They're already. I mean, preemptive strike is on the table. What does that mean? We can't do that. Here's the thing: if any aspect of you leading a country breaks morally, then the whole country has an example set for them where morality is not part of their equation. You know what I mean? Yeah, kids look up to people, for guidance, and they're out, invading other countries, and the kids know it's illegal, immoral, and they know that hundreds of thousands of people are dying illegally. And what is that? You know, the people that are supposedly the most respected people in the world are out running around the world illegally murdering people. What does that mean? You can't lead a nation with that. You know what I mean? You need a moral person in office, and this man is the only man that understands foreign policy and is monetary policy and is moral. Mr. Huckabee, I think, is a good man, but I don't think he can get it right. You know what I mean?